Welcome to Drinking Bros, presented by GhostBed.com. Welcome to Drinkin' Bros, kids. We got the France Press.
That's
Fridays.
what show it is today.
Let's go.
Look at that.
Let's go.
Mine's not full, though. Don't hate me. I brought a fucking
Boom.
40.
Boom.
That's what I'm fucking talking
There it
about,
is.
right?
In a paper bag,
Yeah,
kids.
I specifically asked for the paper bag just for you because I felt if I showed up with a 40 without a paper bag, this fucking thing, come
There
on.
it is. Come on. Get it
Come
open,
on,
baby.
man.
In the meantime, we got the Suckmaster. We got Dan Cummins on the show from Timesuck, one of our favorite podcasts on this earth.
Thank you for having me.
Whoa, dude. You've been on before. We're homies in real life, obviously. And, man, super proud of you. You've one of the best podcasts ever. And I always start this at the top of the show whenever you're on because I want people to go and download and everything else while Jared chugs this entire thing. How many fucking writers do you have on that thing?
We have two full-time researchers that work on the stories before, but then because I'm a control freak, I go over all their stuff like multiple times, then double it basically before I record, just to make sure I fully understand the topic.
Because it's so incredibly detailed. Every time you listen to it, you're like, my God, man, how much time does that guy spend on this?
Too much.
The real question is, how many times do you think those two people have been at a bar and said, I'm a full-time researcher for Timesuck?
I know.
Oh,
I
yeah.
know. It's such a
I'm
weird
a
job.
full-time researcher for Timesuck.
For Timesuck.
What I love is they're both fresh out of college, both like awesome young people, but like 23, I want to say 23-year-old women. So I have these two 23-year-old women working on the most dark, devious topics, and the way their brain matches up with mine, like I'm like twice their age.
Terrifying.
It's terrifying.
Yeah.
I'm like, how are you that warped? Or how do I relate? Both ways is terrifying. How do you relate so much to me, and how do I think apparently the same way as a 23-year-old woman?
Well, that's a miracle. You know that, right?
It's Jesus.
It is. Because trying to find people at 23 who have the same viewpoint as we do now. It's
anything?
It's
Yes, I know.
impossible, dude.
It's very
They're
rare.
so skewed. I blame the
Yep.
public schools.
Yeah, exactly.
All that trans day or whatever the fuck it is, drag day.
Yeah,
when you're in fifth grade.
We
just
didn't have
rocks
that. You had to suppress your gayness, dude, back then. And now,
Yeah, otherwise you got
everybody's like,
smeared. Do you remember
Exactly.
that?
Yeah, you got
They
smeared.
played Smear the Queer.
Yes, that was the game. That was on our
a
playground.
real game. Like,
On our playground
there
in Georgia.
was
Oh, yeah.
there
We
was
played
a
it too.
fucking recess aide that was like mad at us because we were doing karate or something. She was like, "Hey, take this ball. Why don't you guys go play Smear the Queer?"
Right?
Yeah.
That's what the adults are telling you. Yeah, they give me hope for the future because they're cool people. They got all the empathy, all that stuff, but they're also like not fragile and they can handle
good.
anything.
That's
I'm
good.
like, oh, okay, maybe society won't collapse.
Maybe. We'll see.
Right.
I think you personally got lucky, and then the
Yeah.
rest
Yeah,
of us
because
are
meanwhile
all
on
fucked.
Twitter it was this week it was trending that Starbucks employee having a full implosion. Did you see that?
Oh, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
What, they imploded at work?
Fill him in.
In the bed, he. I can't even tell you what he is because supposedly it was a non-binary. I don't know
Sure.
what any of this shit is.
Yeah, me neither.
I don't understand it. Somebody needs to get me a fucking dictionary that I guess was written after 2022. Anyway, it's talking into the camera how it works part-time and also goes to school and cannot handle working, essentially.
Yeah.
Cannot handle
Yeah,
the
that's
pressure of a coffee shop.
That's a weird thing now where we have like legitimized just being mentally weak, right?
Yeah,
where
weak.
it's like, okay, yes, mental illness is real. All these things are real, but also go to work.
Yeah.
Like, but at the
Go to
same time,
war.
do what I've done my whole life and push those feelings down.
Yep.
And deal with them when you have a moment because food has to get to mouths, bills have to be paid. Like there is I respect. It's funny. I used to talk to my wife about that when my grandpa. I would brag about how I literally never saw him cry his whole life ever. Like
As no one should have.
no, it should have. And she's like, well, that's kind of sad that he just had never. And I'm like, okay, maybe a little bit, but also, dude took care of his whole family, took care of both his kids' families when they went through their divorces, raised me and my sister, and came from nothing. And I feel like instead of being respected now for being strong and tough and having mental fortitude, it's like, oh, that's so sad.
That's toxic.
It's toxic.
masculinity. There's two times.
Yeah.
2 times you're allowed allowed to cry. Number one, if you hit your knee on a trailer hitch. Yes, it's authorized.
Okay.
I think God said that in one of the Bibles.
Maybe.
Number two, if you get more than 3 AA batteries stuck in your urethra.
That's true.
Your urethra.
Right in the front, right in the dick hole, right in the pee hole.
It took
that
me,
docking?
It took
No,
me
that's not
2
docking.
screwdrivers to get them out.
2
like I
screwdrivers.
had to like go in like this and pop it.
Yeah. Rubber handles.
Somebody
Rubber
showed
handles.
me a video of somebody putting. I can't think. It's not docking. Docking is when you
Correct.
joust.
Touch sticks.
That's when you joust sticks.
Yeah.
God damn it,
But-
Giorgio, you know what this is called. It's called
There's
fitching or
Sounding.
Sounding.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yes,
Sounding.
and sounding is just like that's a whole other thing. It's like I've gotten in trouble for like kink shaming. It's like, okay, have your kinks, but like you're just fucking damaging yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Like that's not sexual. You just hate your dick.
And that's
or
all that
hate
is.
yourself.
Yeah.
Oh no!
What is happening?
Oh no!
Are you going to bring it up?
We don't need it. We don't need it.
Do you have a sounding
We know
video?
what it is.
Oh no!
Well, no, but this is for Dan. We have a guest, and this is what we do here. Like, we show the guest. This is on YouTube, so you can't see this, but there you go.
Yeah. I can't look away
no,
either.
but put
It's a
the
train wreck.
camera on him because I want you to see his live reactions there.
Dude.
It is. Okay,
That's just a warm up. Yeah.
Is that a machete?
No.
Okay, they're just slapping his balls and stuff to get him ready.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
it's the bottom of your feet.
He's
with a-
warming it up. She's
with a
warming him up.
leather.
He wants it. He's. Oh no!
Are those
There you go.
scissors?
There you go.
Oh.
Man, we're getting in there.
Oh, he's trying to brace. Oh!
Damn it, dude. Damn it.
This is like watching a Jake Paul fight.
Oh no!
Nope. Yep. Yeah.
Oh, why am I? And I just can't stop watching.
can't stop watching
I feel
this
this
now.
in my organs. Is that real?
Bless it, dude.
Is that real? Oh,
Damn,
no.
damn,
Did she break the
damn.
glass? Did she break the
Hasn't-
glass?
No,
hasn't got in there yet.
She put the glass
hasn't
in
gone all
and
the
then
way in.
smashes it.
But here's the thing: he's
Why?
maintaining
Why?
an
Why?
erection
Why?
right now. He's maintaining an erection, which is impossible.
He's having
You
second
would
thoughts.
feel with this much pain going down into it, it would soften up. But it hasn't.
I want both of you to come with me on this ride right now, all right?
Sure.
All right. So what do you
that's
think
a
they were
syringe.
doing at around like 3 p.m. that day? Like they were both at lunch.
Yeah.
Like, hey, tonight,
God!
maybe you can smack the bottom of my feet and my thighs and my
Applebee's.
dick.
I think they were at Applebee's,
Applebee's.
having some Moz
not
sticks.
sex.
And so that's an injection into the penis. Is that the Harvey Weinstein thing?
That's numbing
there was
stuff?
No needle. I think it was numbing stuff. There was no needle. And
Oh,
I
she
thought
put
you
got it.
was pushing something in there.
No, you got to numb it up if you're going to put the thing inside your
Man.
urethra.
No, why? That's a long metal pole.
It's a bigger
that's the
gal.
thing.
Oh, she's wearing a ski mask.
They're both wearing
It is kind of a crime.
luchador
a crime
masks.
being committed.
Yeah, it is.
Like, what happened in your development?
Oh, no. Look at Giorgio. I don't think I've seen Giorgio shocked before.
Oh,
This
yes.
is a shocking one for
Yes.
Giorgio today.
I just.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, I know you can't see this on home, but if you plan on sounding yourself, do it on a ghost bed.
From ghostbed.com/Drinkin Bros.
Home of the sounding bed.
Oh, boy.
It's patented foam that is memory type. Make sure that your lower abdomen is still while your girlfriend shoves a giant metal tube in your urethra.
My
That is
God.
ghostbed.com/Drinkin Bros for 20% off your first purchase.
30% off.
30% off your
first
first
there.
purchase.
I wonder if this happened on a ghost bed because that's the only comfort he has
have you
during this video.
Have you seen the video? It's like the same guy. There's a series of videos, but I think it's on Pornhub. But it's these special contraptions. Like he'll be laying face down on this wooden slab with a little hole cut out for his balls. Has his balls drop through there, and then this lady speed bagging his balls.
Oh, speed bag-
and
yeah.
then just doing power shots.
Yes. Oh my God! Why did you go full screen with this, dude? Why did we go full screen today?
Oh man, that makes me want to throw up. That literally makes me want to throw up.
No.
Give me a headache.
Man.
Give me a headache.
It's so smooth.
Yep.
It's eating
Oh,
up
we
so
have
easily.
guests in the
I've got a
studio
headache.
today, and they're probably
That's so
wishing they
uncomfortable.
didn't come right now.
Fuck.
Damn it, man. That hurts. That hurts inside.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. Well,
I feel that.
I have a cold sweat. I feel like a cold
I know.
sweat just broke
This
out.
might be the one time that I cry in real life.
yeah. I think this might be a
if
third
my
allowable.
grandpa would have seen this,
He would have.
he would have wept.
Yeah. You're close to
probably-
it. You're tearing up right now.
I was getting like nauseous, like feel like that is just, and then just that pain reaction where it's like you get the cold sweat,
Yeah.
just the vicarious.
Yeah, I feel it like in my pancreas. You're like kind of like, oh,
Yeah.
Oh, my spleen.
Damn it.
I just feel bad. Like we just did an episode, Cannibal Cop, talking about cannibalism fetishes. This guy who had it, and it's like they say that you could just be born with an asterisk. Like you're born with a tendency to have certain fetishes, but then if you feed it through more and more extreme porn, that's how they think you get to this point.
I've been seeing a lot of anti-porn propaganda lately. Like, what's that all about?
A lot of it came from the Dahmer thing. So people were pissed off about Dahmer on Netflix.
Really?
So it ended up being, I think, number 3 of all time on their most viewed series ever. And so everybody was into this.
The other one was Squid Games.
You guys, you know the story very well, obviously. My wife knows the story very well.
I know nothing.
Me neither. So, like, I didn't really know about it, and I went back and watched it. She gave up after 2 episodes because she was like, look, talking about it is one thing. Seeing it reenacted of how fucked up it was is another.
His paraphilia.
Yeah, and I didn't know it. So, like, I'm kind of going along the journey, and it keeps getting worse.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are saying that, where they're just like, you know, back in the day, you didn't have all this porn to go to on this fucking crazy shit, so you were just kind of doing it, right?
Yeah.
Now are you kind of leading people down the path with the shit we just watched right there, where people are doing more and more fucked up shit in secrets?
There's 2 schools of thought that's been around for a long time with like sex work, prostitution, everything. And one is it keeps people from committing heinous acts in real life because it gives them an outlet for their fantasy. And I think that is true for a lot of people. But it's like anything. It's like you know, it's that one bad apple. Jesus Christ.
I want no more.
What spoils?
I want no more.
Tap it out. Spoils the whole bunch. It's so hard not to look, but it's just so horrifying.
Bob, we're going to go ahead and check out of that one. Dude. We've got to have a real show here, and I can't see that index finger inside a penis like that.
But for some people, they once their fantasy gets real dark, they want to reenact that now in real life. And that's the problem with like certain kinds of porn. It's like they're watching that. You're watching something that no one in their right mind is going to want you. It's a crime to do that in real life. Like the rape porn and these things. And every once in a while, there's those, you know, maniacs that are going to see that. And there's plenty of people who are going to see that and get it out of their system. This is fantasy, not what I want to do in real life.
Right.
But then there's the 1%, 2% that's like, no, I need to do that.
Yes.
And then that's what gets the bad press. I mean, it's like anything. Porn, like anything, is like what? In moderation, or if you have normal working brain, but if you have a fucked up brain. I was reading
some statistics on it because I'm like, wait, why? Yeah. There's a lot of fucking anti-porn propaganda going around right now that porn addiction is real. And it's like, it was saying that an average of like 30% of men in the United States consume more than 7 hours a week. I'm like, what?
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Who the fuck has time for that?
Yeah, and I mean, you're sitting next to a guy that I'm surprised you came out on the other side, for real. Because you know, like how we met, and I said this
Playboy.
We met at Playboy TV.
Yeah.
I had never done press there at all. And they kind of give me like a heads up of what to expect. And I walk in, and there's like 10 to 12 buck-naked playmates.
Yeah.
And everybody's kind of in the makeup chairs getting ready just to start the day.
Yeah.
And then you were the host with them. And you and I ended up chatting for a couple hours afterwards.
Yeah.
And I was like, how do you look at nude playmates? I mean, because you're looking at the best of the best.
Yeah.
Every single day in front of your face, completely buck naked.
Right.
For a good, 4 or 5 hours a day?
Yeah, we do the hour of the show, but we do extra bonus content things. We're shooting things. So, it was like 4 or 5 hours a day.
And then you're getting ready, obviously makeup and hair and all that stuff.
They're around naked for that.
All of it.
Yeah. It took conscious effort. There was definitely like a choice of like, okay, am I going to be family guy? I was with my wife now, Lindsay, that time we were engaged. And it was just very much like, is that the path I'm going to go on, or this other path? And for me, what did is I would see these guys that would get caught up in that world, and I'd had, I guess, enough like experiences beforehand to know myself enough to like if I would have had that job at like 22, it could have turned me into a very different person today that I would not want to be. Like where you see these guys where it's like never-ending Peter Pan syndrome of just like nothing but these kind of relationships.
Yeah.
And there's surface fun in that.
3 months, 6 months, cycle them out.
Yep, cycle it out. Just keep going.
Some stupid car that, doors go like this. And that's as deep as you go.
Yep, exactly. And for me, I didn't want to do that. So I did put this wall up and that in my brain, and it almost messed my sex drive up, I think, for life. I was legitimately worried. I had to like go hardcore, like, nope, not gonna like see who's a sexual person. I feel like a gynecologist maybe who just sees vaginas all day and then like goes at home like, another one?
Another
one.
one.
I try to leave work at work.
Yeah.
And I was getting like that with like the nude female form. Like, that's why I was glad I only did it for 2 years. because then I wouldn't want to have sex at home because I was just used to like, nope, shut it down.
And the two people that I had worked with on my side as far as movies go, the ones that lost their minds were there was two editors who edited porn, and
day after day.
One of them came into the office. He was looking for a job as like an assistant editor on this movie, and he was just like, "Hey, dude, I could really use this gig or whatever." And I was like, "All right, great." And he was near tears, and he goes, "Man, I lost my fiance, my life, everything else." And I was like, "Over what?" And he goes, "I was an editor for porn."
He got so jaded.
And I was like, "Okay, so I'm not following." And he goes, I get addicted. He goes, I was just masturbating all day long.
That way,
And he goes, when you're staring at this and then having to edit it all day long, he's like, you run out every single day.
Yeah.
And he meant it himself.
Oh, yeah.
It was like, there was days where like I was physically in pain and shit. And I was like, what? And so he goes, yeah, dude. And after 2 years, he lost his fucking mind. And so we brought him onto this gig, and I let him be an assistant editor for I think 4 or 5 months. I don't know what happened to him after that. But he was great and everything else, and he was super appreciative. But he lost it. And when I was at your place for that interview, I was like, that guy will lose his fucking mind.
Dude, there was a bay of editor or a wing on that floor of that building, and they worked on like more hardcore shows than what we did. And it was weird to walk through there. And these guys 8 hours a day. Just
Dude,
like
I've been in the headquarters of Vixen.
Oh,
and that's why I've always asked. I'm like, how does an HR function work in a business like this? Because it was open bays of about 15 on one side and 15 on the other side, and you're talking like middle-aged women editing porn all day long.
Yep.
And then you had a party going on for, because I guess like once a month they gave out the Vixen Angel of the Month.
They do on a Friday afternoon. Yeah.
So we
did a gig there. We did a show there.
They had that whole thing going on, and like while we're all in the party room or wherever, because they had food and stuff, it was like guys were coming up to some of the girls, like, "Hey, this person called me, really wants to get in on you. Like, so are you interested?" She's like, "Oh yeah, I'll do that." Like, wait, this is your job.
But as they're making plates full of like Chick-fil-A and Chili's, they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm down for a DP, like whatever." And you're just like, okay, cool. And we were at their work. Their place of work.
I think there's two ways they tend to go. They go that way, and they just get like embraced, like all into like orgies and stuff like that all the time. Or they go the other way, and they're just so desensitized that we would have a lot of these guys that seemed like they had no sex drive, no sexuality, working on porn all day, and then just, and then when you talk to them in the break room, whatever, anything other than sex, video games, movies, whatever. It's like they were just totally desensitized. They just totally jaded. I'm like, that scared me more. I'm like, I don't want to just not have any sexuality because I'm just so burnt out on it.
But you came out on the other side of it,
Good
and then
now.
you created this fucking empire with Timesuck and all your other shows over there. And it's been amazing to watch on the other side of it, because I feel like we were doing it kind of around the same exact time, and I just had this conversation with Ari Shaffir was on the show. Shafir was on the show 2 days ago, and he goes, "Man, there's a bunch of you guys like who are in the top 50 that I've never done the show before." And he goes, "This show was fucking awesome." He goes, "You let me say anything," and I go, we totally don't care." And he goes, "Who else is out there that like maybe people don't know about this in the top 50?" And I go, Dan Cummins. And I was like, Timesuck or whatever.
That's
and I go,
nice.
I go, I don't think he has guests on his show, but it's one of the best there is. And he goes, I don't know. And I go, you know why you don't know? It's a tree of Rogan. And I was like, I think we're the last two in the top 50 who have never done Rogan.
No, that's why when I met you, you were getting entrepreneurial, before me. And I do watch you from afar, and it is cool because, same thing. It's like you guys are doing this on your own without like branching out from another existing kind of empire. And it's cool to see. I guess maybe selfishly, I just realize how hard that is.
It is.
And but I respect it so much. Like it's a different kind of grind.
But it's not fun. And you wonder some days with the coffee, Jared will tell you this, with the coffee or the seltzer, you sit on these phone calls and meetings and you're just like, oh my God, fuck, is this ever gonna pay off? Like, what are we doing here every day? And it's like, both people love, like everybody loves the products, and we do too, which is why we did them. But these phone calls with these fucking people where I look at you and I'm like, I bet that motherfucker just does podcasts, dude, and it's awesome.
I try to put the blinders on as much as I can. It is funny. Like, we've had to turn away so many opportunities, potential ones, because I know I only have so much bandwidth, and it's that thing. It's like I try to like be very product focused first, and then make sure I get the time in to make the product right, and then if there's any time left over, do the other things. Because I'm always worried about those other things, like unraveling it. Because you do get people like, oh man, you could do this, you could add this, you could add that. I'm like, I know I could. I could also have
Pump the brakes. Pump the brakes.
Yeah, I could have a meltdown.
Yeah. Even with us, like, dude, the phone goes upside down. I don't know who's on it, calls, anything else. Until after the show is over, and then after the show is over, great. Unless it's an emergency, like a kid, is it something? And I'm like, all right, if he has a shot to break his leg today, I'll flip it upside down and check it. And every time I regret it, because usually it's just messages about nothing, where you're just like, oh, hey, the thing was broken, and I didn't know who to call, and it's just like, figure the fuck out. I'll call you in a half hour.
Well, you guys do the same thing. We have to wear so many hats where you're like creative people and need to be put the blinders on to the creative stuff, but also running businesses.
Yes.
I still haven't figured that out. It's a tricky, like, dual kind of thing to do, to constantly switch modes.
Well, let me ask you this, because in your company as well, you have multiple shows. Same. You also do one with your wife, which I do as well, and then she hosts another show on the network, Crime Corner, that's on Patreon. And when you have a show that doesn't do well, or a host does something fucked up, which you just went through, what was that your first kind of foray into that, where you're like, oh shit, I got to make a decision here of what to do?
That was unexpected. This last situation we had where, like, to give the backstory, I've had to get rid of a few people before for just not doing their, like, I never wanted to be a manager, but you need to be. And learning how to, like, fire people and those things, which is...
Sucks.
You know, just to be like, what are you doing? You know, you always try, and then like, okay, well, this isn't working out. You can't be here. But then that was a blind side where with this last guy, literally the day before everything came out, I was like, dude, this is great. I feel like we're in a good spot. We just kind of cut a show back so I could have more bandwidth to focus on stand-up and focus on Timesuck and Scared to Death and some other things we like to do going forward and working with Black Rifle, like all these things.
Yeah.
Literally the next day, he's like, I got to talk to you about something. And then it was just like, are you fucking kidding me? It's like for months when I was at my wit's end trying to barely keep everything going and so confused over why you couldn't do your job and why this other person couldn't do their job. And then to find out that you guys were literally fucking each other all the time for months in the office. Like when I wasn't around, I was like,
no way.
Like, what are you doing?
Yeah. And so is the show gone completely? It's Is We Dumb?
Yeah. That one we had actually stopped it before everything happened.
Okay.
Yeah, and it totally ran. I just was burnt out.
Sure.
And it just wasn't producing. That's the thing too, where it's like, just the analytics just weren't there to justify the time.
And honestly, that's the lesson everyone's learning this year.
Yeah.
Is everybody jumped this year to start a podcast.
Yeah.
Nobody learned how to do one.
Right.
Yeah. And it really is a skill and a craft to do it, like he's saying. And then you have to treat it like a job.
Yeah.
So like,
absolutely.
Like your buddy, like, dude, you've got to treat this like a job, man. Like, this is still work and it's HR and everything else. And it's like, all right, cool, man. Like, you still
take it seriously.
You can't be fucking people in the break room. Like, that's
right.
not gonna work.
Hold on, guys. Is this the time that me and Rob need to tell you about something?
You guys are fine. Like, I don't
because
care.
you guys don't make a mess. I mean, at least the last time I watched, you had a tarp down, and I mean, you're at least being polite about the building and the cleanliness of everything that goes on here. Like.
Yeah.
So you guys are good. And we let guests fuck in here, so that's fine. So like we have a sign on the highway now.
I love it.
You can drive up and come and watch a live show. We don't care, right?
Yeah.
We got some listeners here.
You just need to start thinking about being armed.
We are.
Because you've pissed enough people off that now anybody can walk through that door and go right after you.
Half of us have a weapon on us every single day.
Where is it?
So it's my backpack.
Okay.
Dan is not here today, but he just puts it on the desk usually. So I mean, it's not even every show we do with Dan. By the way, he leaves the doors unlocked. Of course. Yeah, Jared's got one right there. So it's like, it's easy, right?
I'm waiting to see more. I was like, okay, there's one.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. The first time I went to his house, there was 56 AR-15s in his fucking bedroom.
Hey, first off, right now next to my bed, I have a 40mm grenade launcher.
Do you really?
A grenade launcher?
Just in case.
It's next to my bed.
You never know.
Real life Goldeneye could break out at any second.
You never know.
You got to bounce him off those
never
walls.
Know.
You never know. But we have people come in. Dan is secretly hoping somebody comes in that hates us so he can
so
get
you
a
can justify
stateside
it.
kill. Yes, he just wants one more.
Get a stateside
He's
kill.
killed enough overseas. He just wants one in real life, like stateside. So it's like, hey, dude, leave the doors unlocked. And it's like,
There
right,
are
great.
12 pressure points in my house that I can do this and a gun pops out.
Really?
Yeah.
I know 3 or 4, I think. The one on your bed is the most impressive.
Well, you've also seen the one in the bar.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's true. Yeah,
You have all these places where like any room you can like push a button. And then,
Oh, bro. We've already said this
do you
numerous
run
times.
drills?
Oh, if Armageddon, if it really, if we had a civil war,
Yeah.
we're all going to Jared's, right?
Oh man,
Because
compound.
he's got a compound, and now he's got a full bar.
Yeah.
Have you been to the bar?
I saw
That's
it when
one
it
of
was
my
being
walls.
constructed. Oh my god, that's amazing.
Yeah. And then Bob, did you get the video that I texted you?
Oh wow,
Did I text you? Hang on
that's
here.
pretty
Let
too.
me-
Just
Yeah,
the aesthetic.
I made it nice. You know?
Yeah.
All right, let me save it first, and I'll text it to you. Because this is where things get really fun here, is with Jared.
Yeah.
He's building all the things that you would want, like when you had money, as
yeah.
like a joke, where you're like, what if
but he's
I
actually
just did
doing
this?
it.
Yes. And I'll show the new one. What did we show last time you were on the show?
The mariachi band.
So he hired a mariachi band in the middle of the afternoon.
You put that on socials, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I saw that.
To
Yeah.
come do a
Post
Post
Malone.
Malone. Bob, I just texted that to you. When that gets in, you can pop that up on screen. This one will alter your mind. I don't even want to spoil it for you. But you saw the mariachi band like a week ago, and then this project's been going on for like 2 months. It's one of those things where you go, you're not really doing that. Yep. Yeah.
This
That's
is
the logo.
Oh, no, I know.
I'm not just blowing smoke. This is excellent, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Because the peach flavor of the Hard as Fuck, it's not too sweet.
No.
That's usually my complaint against all of these premixed.
Yeah.
Too sweet.
Yeah, and it's 8%, so watch yourself tonight.
Yeah.
Watch
Yeah,
yourself
yeah.
tonight. But we appreciate. We worked on it for like a year and a half, all the taste before.
well done.
Same thing where it was just like, hey, once you get it right, then you go out into the world. But,
Yeah. But yeah, you took it
until
seriously,
then-
like we were talking about earlier,
Yes,
man.
You
It's a
have
business.
To.
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah.
Because everybody's like, oh, just go out earlier. I was like,
It's
just not
throw
right.
it out there. Your fans will love anything. No.
No, they won't. You got to make sure the product is perfect.
They won't.
Same with Black Rifle, dude. Like
Yeah.
you got to go and do tests and all that other shit.
Like this.
Yes.
Right here, another shirt that Evan designed that is fucking sweet, and we have 120 new products for Black Rifle Friday.
Yeah.
120 new products.
And you guys go over all of them.
yes.
Like,
all of them are Evan and Matt, like fucking yes, no, yes, no, yes.
Correct.
Yeah.
And then the reason why these guys are so creative
Yeah.
is the video. Bob, you can go ahead and did you get it?
No, it has not come through.
My God, dude.
Oh,
There's
what
no
do you got? AirDrop?
Jared, let's not start that.
It says it has gone through on my end. It says delivered, Bob. Bob, it says delivered on my end.
It literally just showed up.
Okay. I'll give you the Denzel Washington. Okay. Pop it up. Yeah, exactly. Pop it up here,
Well,
Bob. We're all
that's gonna be-
waiting, but it's
That's
fine.
going to be a minute.
It's fine.
His
Is
phone.
it?
His
just a
phone's not
transfer.
connected.
It's
to
not the best. Is it an Android?
No, it's just not connected to anything. It's his
Okay.
phone. It's his personal phone.
That's fine.
When you guys are talking about arming up, Tyler here with me was getting so excited, I'm sure. Big tactic. Oh my God. You brought yours
There he
here.
is. There he is.
He's packing too. Yeah.
Oh, dude, bring him up on screen. Come behind us, Tyler. 'cause
Come on, Tyler.
Everybody says, hey, do you guys have any black people that hang out with you? Now we can say yes.
Now Tyler's not. He's
what?
like, no.
Tyler, what, dude? We need one, okay? Damn it. They're going to say things online about us, okay?
What did Tyler?
Hop in behind
Did you
us
just
and say hello.
You checked that in your baggage?
Of course.
Yeah.
Okay. So
He's
this
gotta
is
protect
Tyler.
you.
This is Tyler.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is. Boom.
Oh,
Tyler's
yeah.
awesome. What did you bring?
Yeah. Pop on that up. Pop up that shirt.
What do you got there?
P320?
P320. Look at that. Look at that. He's behind the thing.
Oh my God.
Look at that. Yes.
Oh,
There it is. Behind. There we go. Oh,
Right
that's
here.
nice.
That's
That's
what
nice.
I'm talking about.
Yeah. Look at that, dude. No. I've seen it a million times. We'll probably get pulled from YouTube. Who cares at this point? All of us are just passing around handguns. Hey!
Come on!
Yeah, the host of the show just fucking. You can't hear him because he's off mic, but he said Kyrie Irving was right, and I'm totally kidding. Totally kidding. But that's the best guy to have with you. He's strapped, shoots.
He's awesome.
You're good to go.
Yeah.
Black, yeah, black. That way you can get away with every joke on stage where you're like, dude,
my
I can
God.
run it up, dude.
I love when people do try to do that. It's like, no, that doesn't make it right.
Nope, sure
They're
doesn't.
but I have a friend. It's still.
I know. You can't do it. You're like, nah, I still can't do it. Bobby, what do we got on that video? There we go. Okay. So we're going to play this on screen right here.
Yeah.
This is Jared's new gym that he installed
This is
in his
only
house.
when it was half done, but it's fully done now.
It's called
fully
Mark
done.
Hard.
Yeah.
And
Mark Hard the gym.
Mark Hard the gym. And that's, is it trademarked? Have you
Yeah,
trademarked
trademark.
Mark Hard?
Yeah,
Okay.
trademark Mark Hard.
Okay, pop it up on screen there. So he has put Mark Wahlberg on every single stitch of his wall inside the gym, dude. And in TED, they're drinking cans of BRCC, obviously.
Yeah, of
And
Be
course.
Mark Hard.
Be Mark
That's our
Hard.
slogan.
that's his
Be
slogan.
Mark Hard.
So when people come into the gym at his house, he
Yeah.
goes, dude, are you going to be Mark Hard today? Because if not, get the fuck out of my gym.
Be Mark
Hard.
Hard.
Yeah. See, we have a style guide and everything.
It's just
A
Mark
sty-
Wahlberg.
yeah, you do, don't you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Everything.
I love how far you take all of this.
I take it real far.
To the end.
I know. When he first brought up his fucking hot dog business, I'm like, get out of here.
And then you saw him
And
online
I'm
for
like,
sale.
Oh, that's real.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
He really dedicated a lot of time to do this.
Yeah. if look, besides Black Rifle, right?
Yeah.
The rest of the things that he's dedicated his time to.
Yeah.
Or I mean, just the amount of hours you spent on Mark Hard, dude. Like the gymnasium in your house. That if it weren't for a podcast,
Yeah.
maybe 50 other people would see in this life. And you just went all in on
Well,
Mark Hard.
and you know
Yeah.
what? It was. I'll give this. It was Logan's idea. Like, because I was just like,
Oh, was it?
Yeah. So I had just gotten all the gym equipment from True Grit Gym. Matt Paiva, all of our friends.
Love Paiva.
Yeah, he started True Grit.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
No way.
So if you need gym equiment, guess who you get to call?
God damn, that's dope.
You know a guy.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
a guy.
Paiva's the best.
Rocco.
Yeah.
You know a guy.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I was like, we were sitting on the porch, and I was like, man, yeah, I'm trying to figure out what I should wrap the gym in. I want to do it in something funny.
Mm-hmm.
And Logan's like, why don't you just do it of like all photos of Mark Wahlberg? I'm like, actually, yes, because then I was like, no, because all the people that come through town and stay with me, like they're going to use the gym. And these are all people like Dan that has a following, a personality and everything. And for them to just be randomly taking selfies of them in a Mark Wahlberg gym, this becomes this like fucking
100%.
this underground like funny joke
Yes.
that's running amongst everybody. Because
Yeah.
like Travis Pastrana will be at my house on Sunday. Like he's going to be working out in Mark Hard. Like, so within the next like 60 days, you're going to have tons of big named people just working out in a place that's Mark Wahlberg.
Just getting Mark Hard.
My idea is I want to film a commercial. Marcus Luttrell says he'll play Mark Wahlberg for the commercial. And I want to air it all over Austin and San Antonio TV. But there's just no address. So it's just like, come be Mark Hard, Mark Hard Gym, Mark Hard. And then that's it. I want to work out that gym, but there's no fucking address.
Have you thought of it, Dan? Have you thought about running ads in Idaho?
Yeah, you know what? Actually, we had a billboard for Scared to Death running in LA last week. It wasn't. We didn't do it like SiriusXM did it, but
Okay.
it did give me the idea. I'm like, I know you've done billboards.
I've done a fuck
Yeah.
ton.
Tons.
Yeah.
But we also looked into the commercial slots on like local TV.
I haven't looked into that. Is it pretty cheap?
Super cheap.
Really?
Yeah. And I mean, it's so easy that it's scary. So like,
So-
he'll do it.
So,
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
so one of the things I want to do with the commercial slots for TV is because of the cost.
Yeah.
I want, and Evan and I have talked about this for a long time. We want to buy up an entire commercial break, and each commercial though,
It's like you're telling a story?
No. So like the first one, I did horse karate. So it's me and Caleb. Come on down and learn horse karate, and
Yeah.
then the commercial ends. The second commercial is us in suits over our karate gis as the same people going, has your horse been injured in a karate related incident? And then the next commercial is like a butcher's outfit over the suits. It's like, did your horse lose in litigation? You see, and then the commercial, the entire break ends and someone's going, what the fuck did I just watch?
Oh yeah, they're gonna think they've just gone. I love that I did a joke about doing something that crazy, like wouldn't that be weird if, but no one's gonna do this way.
Yeah.
And I see that you're the person that will do that. Like I feel like there's a good chance. This
Not
is gonna
only
happen.
will he do it,
Yeah.
but we actually looked into it in Wilmington because that's where we were before
Yeah,
here. So Wilmington had actually somebody had seen a sign or heard about the show, and they go, "Hey, if you're serious about this, we can sell you a full half hour." And I was like,
full half hour, like late night programming, like
that's what I thought.
That's hilarious.
So I was like, late night programming, and they're like, no, the cheapest slots are at 1 p.m. in the afternoon on local on Fridays. So they were like, you can have the full 30 minutes at 1 p.m. It's got to be after I guess they have a noon news show that goes for an hour, and they didn't have any time slots in the afternoon because most of those old soap operas are gone. And so they were like, you can have the full half hour.
Dude, are you kidding? I got it. We build a fucking talk show in here.
Well,
I mean, I'm talking to Maury style. Like, when you just put like 8 rows of chairs, a little stage, you and I have mustaches. Like, that's it. Like, all right, today's show, we got some cheaters.
Exactly. And by the way, we asked, and they were totally fine with it. So they said no swearing, no nudity, no everything else. The only thing is, it had to be QC'd. Remember those old QC tapes? That were on, not
like QVC?
No,
like
QC. Those QC tapes that were like
another program.
It was
that
high.
Awesome.
Giorgio, do you remember those things? They were maybe 2 sizes of an iPhone. It was like a brick of a video, and it wasn't a high 8. It was something else.
Oh, like what you had to actually play it off of?
Correct, yes.
Oh, because of their equipment?
And so the conversion of it to try to get it on that thing was too much. And I was like, when you guys go to MP4s, that's probably more realistic.
Right,
because getting it at that level on that tape, that was the costliest thing, to be honest with you. It wasn't the show itself. It was just getting that fat
Dude, if
tape.
you and I did like a QVC too, but we're like making something that we're selling, like this is how you make scissor up. Like we got Hennessy and cough syrup. We're just like, oh, call right now and we'll send you this bottle right here. It's all over the fucking cap and everything. It's just a big mess.
Because that you buy the block and then you get the ads if you run them for the block, right?
Correct.
That's Byron Allen's like a model that has made him millions.
Richest black man on earth right now.
Byron Allen?
Oh yeah. So
are you serious?
Bring up.
I knew he was.
Hang on.
What?
Bring up Byron Allen.
Sure.
He just bought the most expensive piece of real estate in the United States history for a black man. This was 2
Byron
weeks
Allen
ago.
did.
Yes. And so
I knew he was
they
doing
want
well.
him to buy an NFL franchise, and they wanted him to buy the Denver Broncos over the summer. Yeah. Type in Byron. It's BYRON Allen, and then bring up the house.
Net worth.
His net worth is disgusting. It's crazy. But that's exactly what he did. He bought up all these TV stations, weather channels, like a bunch of weird shit.
Comics Unleashed, and then weather.
Pop this up on full screen so they can see his new property there. How much was it, Bob? This was $100 million. Yeah,
Really?
And this is
$100 million residence.
Yep.
Do you think like when you buy $100 million house, is there different light bulbs in there?
For sure.
Made of gold.
Yeah. It's like, is the rim like gold too? Like, hey, what makes it $100 million?
You're wiping like the toilet paper is just shredded antiquities, like just shredded Van Gogh.
Oh, man.
It's like,
or like
our
priceless artwork that you're just destroying.
Yeah.
It's all the Richard Nixon documents that are shredded, where you're just the real ones.
All
You're
the
just
toilet
like,
paper
oh,
in this
cool.
house are made from United States official presidential documents that have been shredded. Like everything.
Man, good for Byron Allen.
But that place is at the top of Brentwood up there, and it's got allegedly the most beautiful views in all of the city.
The water's flowing
it's
in
the
from
highest
Switzerland
points.
every day.
Exactly.
What city is he in?
Brentwood. It's in L.A. But it's at
right
the
next to
top.
Santa Monica.
Yeah, but you know those hills that go up there?
Yeah.
Like all the way up? Like that's it. And allegedly that's the highest you
What's
can
his
go.
net worth, Bob?
Well, yeah. What is Byron Allen's net worth? I think it's close to $1 billion, I think.
Man, from just buying programming blocks.
He has a net worth of $800 million.
Yeah, close to $1 billion, yeah.
Yeah, but so right now, it's
Not even close? Yeah, the Sultan of Brunei is black. That dude's worth like fucking $40 billion.
No, American.
Oh,
American.
you didn't say that.
Well, I don't give a shit about like having an oil baron like from Saudi. Who gives a shit?
Brunei.
Fuck
That's
'em.
cartoon
The
money. Look at that
Sultan
oil money.
of
Yeah,
Brunei.
that doesn't count, does
He
it?
invented cigarettes.
Well, if you do
He
that.
invented cigarette.
Yeah.
A guy who's alive now.
Yeah.
respect.
Sure didn't. That's
See?
a lie. That's
Told
a
you,
total
Giorgio.
lie. That's a total lie.
No, it's not.
$800 million for Byron Allen. That's not going to do it. It's not going to do it. The NFL franchise that's available right now is the Redskins, a.k.a. the Commanders.
Oh, yeah.
That is valued at $5.6 billion.
So much money.
think-
So you got to go in with a bunch of people.
Yeah,
all that
and then you
CTE
don't
money.
even get to own the land either.
No.
That's the
City
fucked up
owns it,
thing.
yeah.
City
It's
owns land, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
City
It's
owns
like you
land.
don't even get the stadium.
There's only like 2 or 3 owners in professional sports,
you guys-
not just the NFL, that aren't billionaires.
Yes. One of them was Mark Cuban when he sold radio.com. Yeah, he bought the Mavericks, and it was pretty cheap, and it was just right at the right time. And I want to say he got his for like $400 million.
Wow.
And then built an empire off of it.
Mark Cuban, man, I like so much of what he does. I haven't followed it recently, but he was going to do this healthcare thing where he was like, it was like a percentage.
He's doing it.
He's doing it.
He's doing it, right?
It's out for all the drugs. Like he's basically.
I love it
so you
so
don't have to
much.
have insurance. He's buying up drugs at bulk rates so you can get cheaper prices for all of them.
Yeah.
And people are getting their prescriptions for like a tenth of what they would
Right.
have before.
Yeah, because it's just a percentage. It's like we are only going to mark up, X amount, 10%, 20%,
Of what it
whatever,
costs us,
of
yeah.
what it costs us, no more. And because he found like it was these middlemen between big pharma and the actual pharmacies that were just doing these insane price hikes and just fucking over everybody.
Tens of thousands of times percent price increase.
Yep,
kind of thing.
just bullshit. Yeah, it's like I love that. I hope that blows up so big.
So do I. Because you need it. And it takes one of those guys to do it. Even we were talking about it before the show, what's happening with Twitter. If you don't have Elon buying Twitter, I don't think that platform ever changes, and it probably just gets worse and worse and worse.
Right, and then just
over
dies
time.
eventually.
Yeah.
Is that a bad thing though?
Is all of it a bad thing?
I mean, social medias have died before. We've quit using them.
Yeah,
I'd love to
MySpace.
torch all of it, to be honest with you.
Facebook.
Imagine if you didn't have to go on every day.
I know. Well, Tyler, Logan, some of the guys. I mean, they will do most of it now, but it's that double-edged thing where it's like it can help you so much.
Sure.
With no gatekeepers, build things.
Yeah, exactly.
But also, it can suck all your time and keep you from making the content that made people like you in the first place.
Yes.
It's just again, go back to porn.
We got to bring back
balance.
the gates, man, or the greats, man. Like Good Neighbor, Whitest Kids You Know.
Whitest Kids You Know died.
I know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, remember how
moonshine?
They were great.
Trevor
Like-
fell off. Was he drinking moonshine?
I heard it was like an alcohol poisoning thing, and I heard it was like
shit.
Yeah, he just fell off his balcony.
distilled wrong.
That's
when,
it.
When you get that moonshine and you
Oh,
don't
it made
distill
him
it correctly,
blind?
it poisons you.
Yeah, and
God.
he fell off the balcony and he just died.
Dude.
Yeah.
But
But
I mean,
you know
they
what
had
doesn't do
some
that
of
to
the
you?
best.
Hard as fuck seltzer.
Hard as fuck seltzer, ladies and
Will not
gentlemen.
make you go
Hard
blind.
seltzer.com
wake
will
up
not make you go blind.
You wake up in the morning with a great cup of coffee, and you end it with a great cup of 8%.
You sure do.
Hard as fuck
Yeah.
seltzer that'll fuck your mouth.
You wake up with Black Rifle coffee. You go to bed with Hard AF seltzer. It's 9-9 time. We talked about the podcast earlier about underrated podcasts in the top 50. I want to talk about your stand-up. To me,
we're talking about underrated stand-up.
yes, you were one of the. Hey, dude, you were one of the best there is. It is dead serious, man.
Thank you.
You were one of the very best, and yet, you're not the dude yet, and I don't understand it. It's you, in my opinion, out of all of our friends, and Steve Byrne. Do you need?
Oh yeah, man, he's great. I've known Steve for a long time.
If I, gun to head, had to say, hey, dude, pick 2 comedians to go crush in L.A.,
Brian
New York, Midwest, or on a fucking cruise ship. He's funny, too. He's a buddy of ours,
absolutely
too.
hilarious. Yeah.
But if I had to say, hey,
I misunderstood the
pick 2 to go and crush at any venue in the world, and it's guaranteed. It'd be you and Steve, because I
thanks.
think you guys translate to every single crowd, no matter where you go.
Yeah,
and I think you're 2 of the best.
Oh, thanks. It's been fun. We're gonna produce my own special here in a month for the first time, because like we're having so many problems right now with copyright and like publishing rights, where it's like a fight I didn't even want to fight, and like all my stuff's been taken off Pandora, Spotify, because of this crazy copyright battle going on with like the streaming platforms, and I don't own my own stand-up piece. Like Warner Brothers, other entities own them, which is I can't post it on TikTok. It's like all this nonsense, and so we're going this direction now of just like producing our own special, and I'm so excited. The new hour I think it's my best one by a lot. It's just been, but I think what's hurt me. You talked about the Rogan tree earlier. I'm not naturally a networker. It's like I focus so hard on trying to make the content good that I like down in LA there was that culture of like hang out at the store, hang out at the improv, just spend time there. And I'm like, I got kids.
Get your name known.
Yep, get your name known. And I'm like,
known.
I just went the other way of like, okay, I'm just gonna go the long haul of I'm just gonna try to get good and just gonna try and make it good. And also, a lot of those people when they do all that hangout time and try to get good, it destroys their personal lives.
Sure.
And they, it's, like,
consumes them.
Yep, you don't have time for your kids. You don't have time for your, and so I'm like, nah. So maybe I'll be less known, but maybe I'll have a better kind of balanced life. But now I'm hoping that with as things go, that maybe somebody will see one of these new bits and it'll go viral, or who knows. And
Well, the wild thing is, because I'm looking at your YouTube here, it seems like your stand-up bits do better than the podcast. You're in the same boat as we are, where it's like 10 to 14,000 on video.
Yeah.
But our audio numbers destroy everybody.
Yes. Yeah, audio's good.
And there is no translation. We've had conversations with YouTube. I'm curious if you did too, because your shows are not as offensive as ours, like not even close. So like I understand some of ours.
Yeah.
There's a lot
with
of
yours
dick conversation.
Yeah, what's the story?
I don't know YouTube's been tricked. Well, again, it's rights. I don't have rights to most of my catalog, and so things keep getting flagged. I know on TikTok lately we started doing that, and I had a couple bits go into like the 3, 4, 5 million kind of like view range because they were new stuff from clubs that at least I could post.
Okay.
Yeah. But that's what's killed me on stand-up is just all of the trademark copyright stuff of my whole catalog is owned by other people. So
that's
it's just
wild.
So
it's a stupid fucking system.
It is, yeah.
Like when you think about it, like, and we created it. Like the entire music industry is fucking dumb.
Yeah.
Dude, I will say this. Don't hate me for it.
Okay.
Or maybe you won't.
Well, we'll find out.
I'll tell you what. Vice makes some really good shit.
Vice, the channel? Yes. It is very well produced.
Yes.
There is great content there, for sure.
They have some banger series on
YouTube.
YouTube.
They do.
And I've been like down the rabbit hole lately with they have this whole series on single tracks from famous artists, like, and they do a 20-minute like how that song came about.
I watched the whole series, by the way.
Dude, so I just the other day I just watched Papa Roach Last Resort, and like you realize like they were a band.
This is my last resort. Yeah, I watched it.
So like they're sending out tapes and everything of these shitty recordings. Warner Brothers gives them an option deal of, all right, we'll send you to a real studio with a budget to make a single, and then we'll decide on that single once it's done.
Yeah.
They go into a real studio for the first time in their life. They're from Vacaville, California, which I'm from that area as well. They go to the studio, do Last Resort. The producer there is like, this is a banger of a song.
Yeah.
Warner Brothers comes back with all the suits, all the board around the table. They said, no one will listen to this. We're gonna pass. And the R&A guy from DreamWorks across the street is like, wait, they passed on that track? He runs over and grabs it. He's like, we'll take it.
Yeah.
And like 4 weeks later, they're headlining fucking Warped Tour.
Yeah.
So it's like
that's that old system.
But I feel like the same thing could happen to you, where it's just like if that one person saw your stand-up or whatever, it's like you're so devastating on stage that it's like,
oh, thanks, man.
Dude, I just don't get it.
It is a thing where it's like if you have a different style or whatever that's not, that's one thing too about LA. I didn't want to hang out and just be overly influenced. And so I feel like my old manager used to say that. She's like, you're an acquired taste, because it's not the same. And so too many people, decision makers, they want to see something almost kind of like familiar, it feels, to like, promote. Maybe it reminds them of them, or I know, whatever. But I am hopeful that now that we're going to own it, we're going to have a better chance of changing it. Because it's like, that's what happened with Timesuck. Talking about like gatekeepers, I was stuck in that traditional mindset, and I tried to go through a podcast network to launch that concept. No one wanted it. Everyone passed except for one group. I sent them the pilot, and they were basically like, we can't market this. Nope. And I just got pissed off and did it myself, and it became the best thing I've ever done my whole career. As far as changing and now that's the mentality going forward. It's like my agent is such a good guy that way, where he's like, fuck all the gatekeepers.
Yeah.
Like we don't, he doesn't want me to try to go through Netflix or anybody. He's like, I don't even want to pitch it. He's like, just we're going to double down on do it all yourself.
JP
and then
Sears
control
just
everything.
did it.
JP Sears just did it. Ari just did it. His special launch.
Mark Norman.
Hodge
did it.
Twins are
Norman
filming
was on the show.
in Houston. In December, like everybody's doing their own.
Yeah.
It's like fuck it.
Andrew Schultz put his
he
up,
kills doing his own stuff.
crushed, and then put it up afterwards.
Yep.
I think that's probably where it is for the future, and then you own all of it.
Right.
So you can do whatever you want with it after that. Chop it up and monetize it on all these
It's just a
different
large
platforms.
upfront cost.
Yeah.
It's hard.
It is, and that's the hardest thing for stand-ups. And I'm glad you brought that up, because a lot of people don't have that kind of money to produce a special, get a good director, and then sit in and edit, because it's more than just set up 3 cameras and audio. It's like, nope, that's a whole production.
Yeah, to do it right.
And a minimum 60
Minimum.
Minimum
Bare bones,
$60,000.
60.
Yeah,
Any
minimum.
comedians out there, I will do your special for 4 sets for $45,000. I will undercut that, so hit up your boy Papa
There you go,
There we
Papa
go.
Giorgio.
We did
we'll do
one.
it.
We
Yeah.
did one in 2017.
Yeah, we did. Yeah,
Yeah.
we did a whole fucking show, and that was what, 60 all in, I think.
Yeah, 59.
Yeah.
Well, I love that you've done that, and you both have like with the movies you've made and stuff like that. Like, nope, doing it ourselves.
Yeah.
doing it the way we want. Get
No,
it
that
out
was
there.
like literally what helped
incredible.
grow our show too. Is we put the live thing on Amazon in 2017. Nobody was doing that.
Yeah.
And we put it up for free. It was just like, hey, dude, go ahead and stream it, and
stream it.
here it is.
It was on
Yeah.
Amazon Prime.
Yep.
That's
It was just
awesome.
like, hey,
Still
go to
is.
Prime. Yeah,
It still is.
It's called
Drinkin' Bros Shaved Eagle Tour.
Shaved Eagle Tour.
That's awesome.
We did a tour. We did a tattoo glory hole on that tour.
Oh, that was great.
And we brought up listeners on stage,
had
had
to
them
put
stick an arm or a leg through a glory hole,
they
and then
don't
got a
know what
tattoo.
they're getting.
They don't know what they're getting.
Yeah,
That's ballsy.
we decided it's Harambe.
Well, yeah. So
Yeah,
it
it
was
was Harambe.
2017. So Harambe was one of the tattoos. I think the other guy got, what was it, a machine gun or something?
Dude, pull up the trailer for this. Maybe none of your listeners know this even exists anymore.
Maybe. It was a while
Drinkin'
ago.
Bros
wasn't it?
Shaved Eagle Tour. You
Yeah,
can
the
watch
trailer.
A 90-minute
Movie, and it's
movie.
free. It's
and
free. It's everywhere. It's on
completely
YouTube.
fucked up.
It's on YouTube, Amazon, all that
music,
stuff.
I love it.
there's
Yeah.
and with the books, I mean, that's where I met Ross too. Was the books?
Yeah,
you
the
know?
romance novels for dudes, dude.
So great. But I just love that you were down, you grinded in LA for so long.
Yep.
And the studios, I'm sure, were like, nope, this isn't what, interests us. And you're like, fuck, I'll do it all myself then. And made it work.
And they just
I
weren't
love
doing
that. I love
They weren't doing
DIY.
comedies anymore. Yeah.
There she
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, pop her up. You can
Pop
go,
her
yeah,
up.
I
wanna
the
see
trailer.
this.
Yeah,
we
you
own the
gotta
rights
watch
to
it now.
We
Yeah.
own
Yeah,
the
yeah.
rights to it, so yeah, you can play it.
Welcome to Drinking Bros. Welcome to fucking Drinking Bros.
My name whiskeys look like.
Nah, he's too hot. Sorry.
I just poured the first France press.
He is pretty hot.
Yeah, he is a good-looking man.
Oh God, it feels like forever.
We didn't fucking write anything.
No.
This was completely off the cuff.
Why did I trim my ass that? Did you say something to me at Wendy's?
Look at that. We're on the same marquee as the ripping dudes. Go outside, looking for tickets or add more chairs.
I think people go back and forth and it's like, what is your podcast? What does it stand for? And like at the end of the day, it's family.
So we were one of the first people to do this back in the day, and we put it up for
Years of
free.
Drinkin' Bros, that is just fucking fantastic.
Everybody's there to truly help one another out.
It's a community that steps up and donates whatever they potentially can.
A girl that runs out of gas in fucking Wisconsin.
One of our Drinkin' Bros family members' death, or a child being born who has medical condition.
It's like, holy shit. Like, what we're doing kind of makes a difference.
And you have the same relationship with your audience as well.
It's awesome, man. It's so rewarding.
In the world,
Yeah.
essentially, that you can find another Drinkin' Bro that'll sit there and have a beer with you when you're having hard times.
Holy shit! I
love that.
You know?
We started pushing.
And I made that animation in the end.
You
That's
did?
awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But we did it all ourselves, dude. Like all of us.
I love the community stuff where it's like we started pushing that, where there was a thing for a while where I'm more of an introverted person, and there was like fans would want to have a relationship with me, and I was honored by that. But I started saying I'm like I don't have the bandwidth, the space to hang out with everybody. But you guys came here because you have similar interests. If you start making those connections, please find each other and build that, and start hanging out with it's hard to find adult friends. You don't know if you have similar interests. Well, if you're here and it's a pretty fucked up sense of humor, but there's some heart too, you probably do have some similar interests. And so many of them ran with that, and it's cool all the marriages that have come out of it, and just like stuff like that, where people depressed, PTSD, suicide, helping each other, saving each other's lives, really dramatic shit. It's so rewarding.
42 chapters around the country, 361 groups of Drinkin' Bros on Facebook.
Yes, and then
That's
you guys went through the same thing we did. So like you had a huge private group.
Yeah.
Ours was up to 128,000.
Damn, yeah.
And then we got nuked by Zuckerberg.
Yeah.
And it was dumb.
We just got nuked again last week, but we did we spread it out like you guys.
Yeah.
Just like form your own.
Although
Yes.
the new
we're
one
gonna keep getting shut
has
down.
not even been on the radar once yet.
Which wow.
wow.
Yeah. So Jared
Name.
changed the name. Tell him what the name of it means.
What is it?
Multicultural all-inclusive network.
And they don't even look at you guys.
Nope. And Jared put up like a rainbow flag.
Oh,
in the
yeah, dude, it has
backgrounds
everything.
and the whole thing.
But it's just me with glasses and a mustache on.
It is.
The bias is so fucked up where we just started Cult of the Curious too, and I'm from the beginning I'm sure they were like, fuck these guys. And we appealed to them. We're like, no, we're making fun of the things that you're flagging. Your bots just don't understand sarcasm and satire.
And that's the thing with AI. It does not understand comedy, sarcasm, context, none of it.
None
so
of that.
It's like, all right, great. If this was a dramatic thing like, oh, hey, I'm going to go shoot a school, fine. But it's not. So
Yeah, right.
that's what we had to do to get around the system and do the workarounds. You did something amazing, though, by creating an app. And your app is also amazing.
Yeah, the app is the only thing we couldn't replicate on the app, and we're going to change it to Bad Magic Productions app here before long, is that to truly build out a robust, and maybe you've looked at this too, like Facebook equivalent, that's millions and millions, and it still wouldn't be as good.
So you
oh, that's right.
and
yeah.
you go, hey, dude, because I go, hey, can I get the number of your guy? And I want to see how much it would cost.
Yeah.
The cost was so shocking that
and
I was like,
and they're cheap compared to.
I know. And I was like, because we got quotes from other people too, and they were the cheapest.
Yeah.
But the cost of it, because we have such a massive back catalog.
Yeah.
So for us, with all the shows on this network, we're over 4,000 shows, audio and video.
My God, yeah.
And then, combined 8,000 if you combine the audio and video. So like the space that requires on servers and everything else is what buried us, where we were like, we can't do an app.
And to build out a true thing that would be a Facebook equivalent of having the shareability, and
it
to
just
get
doesn't
everybody
work.
to
trying to get somebody to migrate is the hardest thing to do.
Yep.
You'll lose 90% of your audience. You'll migrate 10.
Yep.
Like,
and you'll invest millions,
yeah,
and it won't be as good.
Look,
'cause it's like
Truth can't do it. Parler can't do it. Like, they had all the money, and fucking Google can't do it.
Right.
Google Plus failed.
Yeah.
Hey, they might bring that
It's
back.
crazy.
What?
It seemed kind of good right now.
Oh, shut up with your Google Plus and your gigabytes. You put them in your pants, you purple people eater, while I'm in the prone position eating party pizza.
Put respect on G Plus's name.
Hashtag Stephen Jorgensen.
Exactly. But that's amazing. And like to be able to keep up with it on a monthly basis, like, because it's costly.
Yeah.
To do an app is costly.
Yeah.
And yours is
not
one
cheap.
of the best. And I don't know another podcast studio that has an app.
Corolla did one a long time ago, so way before us. And I don't know how much they spent, but I heard it was a lot more. And it crashed. It was just like it didn't work.
No.
And so it was just like, because I remember that scaring us when we went into Earth. We're like, is this just going to just destroy us? It's like this. But luckily, like
Financially,
you know, like we've built some cool, fun, custom things that we've gotten deals on, and fans have supported. And thank God it's worked.
So I talked to Corolla about it. I was like, hey, long term, everything else. And I asked him about the app, and it crashed and whatever. And he goes, booze, liquor. He's like, the seltzer, that's what you got to do. And I was like, all right, cool. What I didn't know was he had his own line. He came on and did, what was the wine that they were doing? Mangria.
You know who's
right.
Mangria.
We drank an entire bottle of Mangria live on air. Because with this, to go out in a 12 packs, the max you can do is 8%. So we maxed it out, right?
Yeah.
And we did hard AF seltzer, and we're like, hey, we're maxing it out. With his, for wine, I think it's 21% for wine, and he did his at 20.5.
Okay.
So I drank a bottle live on air with him, and I was like, holy shit. And it was very good. And at the end of it, I was like, hey, I'm rocked. And I was like, and then we went over the kind of the format of everything, and he goes, he had 1 million of them. And I think he's got 17 different liquors and stuff. And I was like,
wow, I didn't realize he dove that hard into all that.
It's extensive. And he crushes, and they're all good. Like, I love the Mangria.
Were you guys nervous to go hard on this? Because I imagine the costs before you ever make any money back to give it a shot are pretty substantial.
Yes, they are. And we were, for sure.
Yeah.
And if it fails, like, let's say people didn't like the taste. Same with Black Rifle. If they don't like the taste, you're out, dude.
Right.
Like, you're out. It doesn't matter how cool you are who your listeners are, everything else.
Right.
If it doesn't taste great,
Yeah.
you're fucking out. And so we took a gamble as well as Black Rifle, and then everybody likes the taste, thankfully.
Yeah.
But if not, you got to shut it down. And
I got to kill the baby.
I got lucky with my college roommate invented Four Loko. He was on the show a few weeks ago, and we talked about that story and everything, and it was the same thing with him.
Yeah.
Like, Four Loko teetered on bankruptcy for years, and then it was one thing that made it explode, and then boom, they made a ton of money, but they were teetering on bankruptcy every day because the taste of Four Loko isn't great.
Yeah, it's like
yeah, especially the original. Do you remember the original?
No, I don't
the
think I ever
green
had
one.
it.
Oh, with the caffeine in it?
Yeah, oh fuck yeah.
14.5%, and it had caffeine, and it was malt. So it was like, bro, I was battery acid.
Yeah.
You are drinking death.
You are. And I told him about it because, like, I was honest with him because I was in L.A. and I was doing movies and all that stuff. And he'd sent some out, and he was like, hey, dude, do you want to invest in this? And I was like, what is it? And he goes, all right. It's an energy drink with booze in it. And I go, why would anybody want that?
Who are you marketing to?
Who is
People
it?
that like Coke and liquor.
Yes. Yeah.
You don't want to get arrested for coke.
Yeah.
And don't want to get arrested for a pocket full of Coke.
And if you listen to the show,
Daddy don't have no powder on his nose.
exactly. If you listen to the show, the first places they were open in was like the ghettos and shit like that, and like that's where they went, and it was like
And
all right,
college
great.
kids
You like
too?
how he
And
said
then
the
college
ghettos
kids
real
got it.
quiet?
Yeah.
He went,
No,
The ghettos.
not for that. But
He
he,
did
was
the-
just
he
like,
did the
hey,
look.
for $2.99 a can.
Yeah.
To get that fucked up for $3, like that's essentially $4. Like, so you're like, all right, great. Who wants to party and then do that? And so rappers, like in the hood from all over there, they were the ones that kind of blew it up online and everything, and then it expanded from there. And then, of course, once black culture makes something cool, white kids from the suburbs want to do it. Yeah, and that's what helped it explode.
It starts with the white kids in Mobile, Alabama copy them first, then the white kids from the suburbs copy them.
Correct. Yeah.
I wondered if it was college. I had to, because I remember when I was poor college student, that was the criteria for what you drank was alcohol content to cost.
Yep.
And if you could combine it with something, it didn't matter. Taste was not a factor.
Oh,
what's
100%.
going to fuck me up for the least amount of money?
And so we got lucky with our first state that was open was Tennessee. I don't know if you follow football at all, but University of Tennessee is number one right now.
Oh, college. I follow NFL a little. I don't follow college football.
So college football, we're at Total Wines in like Knoxville, right? And so it's 8%. So if you're a college kid, if you're a college kid and you don't want carbs and sugars and all that
and
stuff,
the name
They
too.
don't know the old
All of
trick.
it.
Sutter's Home and Mad Dog 2020. That's 28% if you mix it.
Is it really?
Yes. And it's
I love that you
less
have that
than
memorized.
$6 for both.
No
Yeah, you
shit.
could get a Sutter's Home bottle for like $4.50.
That's right.
Then a bottle of Mad Dog
Yeah,
is
yeah.
like fucking $4. So boom.
Yeah, so in Knoxville,
28%.
like it's selling out all over campus and all that
Wow,
stuff.
good,
and it's
good.
Like, and it's great, but sometimes you get lucky with things like that.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you take that into consideration and everything else. If you were to do a product, what would it be?
Oh man, you know what? It's like
I know you've been pitched a million times.
we thought for a second, only because it was so absurd. But like the joke that we did, I just Whipple joke, like Whipple, like a fucked up energy drink. And then we took a meeting a while back about what it would cost to get into it. And I'm like, I don't know that we could say what we want to say on the cans and have them on any store shelves.
I've got a workaround for you on this.
Yeah.
Instead of going to compete against the major drink people, go somewhere where no one exists. Energy Ranch.
Energy Ranch.
Yeah. It's ranch dressing with energy. What?
I'm here for this, but I need an entire array of energy dipping sauces.
Oh yeah,
Like a
yeah.
barbecue, I need
Energy mustard.
He actually made a mock concept drawing
Energy
of
Ranch.
it.
Energy Ranch.
Yeah, I remade the label for Hidden Valley that you could put it on. It says Energy Ranch. Like I wanted to relabel everything in my fridge at one point.
We made fake labels for bananas. We had a joke about me fucking banana peels. Well, because I talked about fucking banana peels in high school.
Yeah.
But like, and people were putting Dan Kita stickers over Chiquita stickers in grocery
way.
stores
with a little
just a
yellow
joke.
face of his.
Oh,
that's great.
It's so
Well,
great.
did you microwave the banana peel?
We should start a campaign. Here's
No,
the thing.
no, I didn't even microwave
We come
it.
up with a couple real fucked up stickers that are the exact size of specific name brand labels. We sell them on drinkinbros.com, and then we start the
Stick 'em
campaign
on.
to relabel things in the grocery store until we get a letter.
Well, that's how the Biden, I did that. The gas pump started.
Yeah.
That was on a few other sites and everything like that. What was the wording you wanted to put on? Because I just went through
Well,
it.
the joke is fuck you, fuck your family, drink Whipple. And so I wanted to have that on the cans.
Definitely cannot. I can already answer that question, friends.
Hard no.
Yeah.
And then we did look into, there's this group, oh my God, New Holland Distillery, or New Holland Brewery, excuse me, out of Michigan, that are just fans of the show. And they have a private distillery and also, I guess,
Showroom.
brewery.
Yeah.
And it's so good. Their stuff is so good. Their gin, their whiskey and stuff is so good. We did have meetings with them about doing a Lucifina, from the Timecast show, and our own rum, gin, and whiskey. But it was during the supply chains issues.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We went
couldn't
through
get glass.
Yep.
Couldn't get it.
We
so
couldn't
that
get
killed
glass
that.
or
Yeah.
aluminum. We had trouble with aluminum as well.
Yeah.
So I can tell you this:
The first run, though, these things were in garbage bags. If you want an
exactly.
hard AF, you got a
Like a little
5-gallon
cinched
garbage
off bag of garbage.
Yeah.
Smack the bag,
Just
baby.
a little bag, baby, pop in your mouth. I can tell you this: they definitely would have shot that down as far as the labeling goes.
Yeah.
So you have to turn your labels in state by state, and then they say yes or no, right? So our
Right.
lawyers said, even with hard AF, they're like, that won't fly. And I was like,
How do you get around that?
well,
Just try it.
It's a veteran-owned company, and we said it was Hard Air Force. So
Is that how? That's awesome. That's very smart.
So on the box, because our brewers
Hard
are
Air
veterans.
Force.
Yeah, it's Hard Air Force. Our brewers are veterans as well, and they were like, "Oh, well, that's fun." And I was like, "Isn't it?" And so once it got out, there was nothing you could do, right?
Right.
It's
Because
in
they
stores.
shut it down now they're
hate
anti-American.
veterans,
Oh, you
dude.
fucking hate America?
Yeah.
No, okay, we'll put it on the shelves.
What are you, American Airlines?
Exactly.
God, I fucking hate Jimmy Kimmel.
Do you? Did you?
Yeah.
Did you watch
Where
that
did
shit
that come
last
from?
night?
What?
Oh,
What
you
did
didn't hear
Jimmy
about
Kimmel
that story
do?
last night?
No, I was talking about, he tweeted the other day about
Yeah.
how much of a piece of shit fucking Elon
Elon
Musk
Musk
is. So I'm
is,
like,
yeah.
you're such a fucking piece of, no, Jimmy, you are. Because you're fake as fuck.
Yeah.
He is a fucking
very Hollywood.
That, and he's just the Democrat, the DNC's little Muppet boy. They got their fist up his fucking ass, and they're just like, "Look at me, I'm Jimmy Kimmel. Look at me, I have a bunch of people dance around in shot costumes. You fucking idiot."
There's no segues out of Jared, by the way. It's going to go where it's going to go, and either you're going to take that left, or you're going to keep going straight to the destination you were supposed to go to.
I'm just saying, Jimmy
It's up to
Kimmel's
you.
an idiot.
Right to steer, yeah.
It's up
Fuck
to you.
him.
But yeah, Kimmel's getting buried for that comment right now.
Is he?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because he did blackface as Shaquille O'Neal.
Oh, I'm so glad.
That was a long time ago, right? And
Yeah, he
it's
did,
coming
yeah.
back. Yeah.
Yeah, so everybody's
Look
bringing
around
it
again
You can bring it up.
before he said it.
Bob, pull up Jimmy Kimmel in blackface as Shaquille O'Neal.
I believe it's Karl Malone.
Yeah, Karl Malone.
I think he did Shaq and Carl. It was multiple.
done a few.
Well, the Lakers were in the finals too, so and for both teams because Carl was in there on the same team as well.
I don't know enough about the political alliance with Elon and stuff like that, but to me it always just reads like he's just saying yeah, you have to
Very
work hard.
centric.
Right,
Very
yeah,
centric.
right. Very centric. That whole Twitter thing I know is yeah, we're gonna lay a bunch of people off because the jobs are unnecessary.
Right.
And then I don't understand when people get mad about that if it's true. It's well, yeah, that's how you run a good business. Is
Sure.
you don't just have people hanging out, making money, not doing anything.
I apologize.
Oh,
it was Karl Malone. So I'm sorry. You can see it on the screen.
Jams.
Obviously, yeah.
That
Utah Jams.
Yeah.
That's not a good look.
Well,
Yeah.
when he was doing comedy, it was. The problem is he isn't now, and so when this Elon Musk thing happened that Jared was talking about, this morning he had to do an article with Variety explaining kind of how he made the switch.
Oh, wow.
So back in the day,
essentially become religious.
well,
That's what it's
sort
like.
of,
Hey,
sort of.
listen, wokeism is now a religion, and I'm now become woke.
I have a question, guys.
What?
Is it less racist the lighter skin the blackface is?
Dude,
Well,
I
ask
see
the
this
black guy.
no different
You know?
than you.
That's not my world,
You
dude.
cannot get
Poor
angry at
Tyler's
this
like,
and,
what did I
and
want?
be
No,
okay with.
Tyler's like, what the fuck did I walk into today?
Yeah. Does anybody get mad at Tropic Thunder? I'm
No.
not,
I think that's contextual. It's
So do I.
it's like that satire again, which the bots wouldn't recognize. If that happened online now, it'd just get shut down.
And by the way,
But-
even though I dislike
Yeah.
Jimmy Kimmel, same with Jimmy Kimmel, where
Yeah.
Karl Malone was on the show and they
okay,
were
I didn't
friends
see
and
the
all this other
context.
stuff
Okay,
or
so
whatever.
there's context.
Right. So
Yeah.
he did an article this morning with Variety and he said why his show has changed, why his outlook
Yeah.
has changed about life.
Okay.
And it was Trump. So he said, look, it was 100% Trump in this. And
So he got so mad, he just went completely, I'm going to run in the other direction.
right.
Yeah.
And so the article he did this morning after the Elon Musk thing was, hey, guys, you know I lost half my audience anyway, so I don't care about going against Elon Musk. And they're like, why don't you care about that? And he said, well, the ABC execs brought me into the office and they said, please stop telling Trump jokes. And this was 2015-ish, around there. And he goes, no, this is who I am and everything else. And I guess the ABC execs had said to him, look, Republicans are 50% of your audience.
Right.
And let's face it, it might be 60 because of who you brought over from the Man Show.
Yeah.
Right.
The Man Show was all Republican dudes, bros, everything
course.
else.
Yeah.
And he goes, I don't give a shit about losing it. If you want to fire me over these jokes, then fire me and just hire another host. And they said, no, we'll write it out with you. And then in return, he did say at the end of the article, he's lost about 68% of his viewership on his show because of it. So
no one gives a fuck about his dumb ass.
Well, it's strange, right?
68% don't like it.
Yeah. So all these guys are kind of getting
number.
pushed out of late nights and everything for it, and then they're heading over to podcasts.
Great. He's going to have a bunch of soy boys that love him. And then when everything goes to hell, he's going to go, I need people to protect me. And they're going to show up and their arm's going to break because they had to carry something.
He's got enough money.
And I just understand this reaction. This is what I've been talking about in stand-up right now, why people feel the need to pick teams. Because I'm not a fan of either major party. I'm like in the middle. There's problems I have with both. But it's like when they go so hard on one, I don't know. It just doesn't
try and make it like be the be all end all. You're just like, what?
And it feels like pandering a lot of the times. Where it's like, okay, now I have to go here, so now I have to go along all these talking points.
Imagine changing your name to sound more Mexican.
Oh, like Beto O'Rourke. That's what he's talking about. That's who's running here in Texas.
Okay.
Robert O'Rourke.
Yeah, it's a white
is his
guy.
name.
It's a white guy.
Beto is what he goes by in Texas.
He had a Mexican nanny who called him
Carlos
Beto.
Mencia.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Ned, what's his fucking real last name?
Exactly.
Yeah.
My
I heard
God.
he steals jokes.
He sure does.
I just
Sure does. You ever had a joke stolen from you that you knew another comic did it?
Yes. I don't even want to say because he's fine now, but I did call him personally. And we had I got pretty fired up. And I was like, I would let it, I don't know. I think I scared him a little bit. And then he stopped doing it and whatever now. But it was just once. Other than that, I would hear about like open mic or something and people would see it. I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, whatever. You're figuring comedy out. But he was somebody like doing the same clubs as me doing one. I was like, what are you doing, man?
And you're a bigger dude. Like, people don't realize it.
Yeah.
You know, they'll see your show and they're like, oh, great, you're this tie. And it's like, no, a lot bigger than that.
And he was not a bigger guy. So he was like, I'm
Look
sorry.
at this build. I have a scoped rifle, my friend.
Yeah, because I always wonder what the conversation is or if you care or anything else.
Yeah.
Like, I stopped doing
Like
stand-up
if
a long time
we
ago.
could fit a boat trailer in Jimmy Kimmel's ass.
Sure.
Oh my
God, dude.
The build thing, what's funny, this might be in my head, is I'm not an aggressive like person. I'm not
yet.
Not yet.
You haven't hung around me enough. I can bring it out.
But like I can't be situationally, but I swear that was when in LA, it's like just the way that people I don't know, maybe the Kimmel stuff's reminding me of that. But people, because I'm from Idaho and have the look I have, like put me just immediately in a certain camp. And like, and a lot of like very liberal comics who came from much more privileged backgrounds and are like, almost like it's a bad thing. Like lifting is you're just a dumb meathead or anything. And they're like, 5'5" and wayfish and stuff.
You look like you constantly talk about the Ruby Ridge incident.
Yes. Randy Weaver got screwed. Yeah. But having that, I swear it did. I thought, at least in my head, I thought it hurt me for networking. It did build anger. I'm like, you know what? Fuck these guys. Like that. Just like if I'm not like, do I have to talk quieter? Does my fucking voice stir up feelings of daddy in you? That like you're this stern father.
You're a very large bear.
But it's funny how for some people like that was enough to put me in like, oh, you're not one of us.
Yeah.
Like it felt intimidating maybe to them or something. I don't know. Yeah.
I remember back in the day,
It's not normal for
when we were doing Range 15, they were like, hey, man, and we started the podcast, and we started Drinkin' Bros and everything. They were like, hey, hanging around those Black Rifle Coffee guys too much, it's going to cost you. And I was like, why? And they were like, Republican. And I was like, huh?
What?
Like, they're veterans. And I was like, I don't even think they vote. Like, I think you guys are in the middle.
Well, isn't that that's what attracted me, actually, honestly, to Black Rifle initially was the misconceptions people had about them, and it's like, oh, what, because they like guns and they're fucking masculine?
Yeah.
Then you think they're also racist and homophobic and all. It's like, what the fuck are you doing?
Has nothing to do with that.
Nothing to do with that.
No.
They tried to touch my dick so many times.
To me, when like people make this, I'm like, oh no, the problem is that you're fucking stupid. You're a lazy binary thinker, and you don't want to actually understand like the brand, the people, anything. It's just it made me like. I mean, in addition to just who they are, like, you know, like supporting veterans, like all the philanthropy. I'm like, no, they're better people than you.
Yeah.
And you don't see that. You just see dudes. Oh, they have muscles. Oh, they must be misogynistic pieces of shit.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I went through that back in the day. I was like, great, man. I don't really fucking care. And I can't. Because I saw comedy dying like 2014, 15-ish, where we were just like, oh, shit. And it was right before Trump got in. And after Trump got in, it was over.
With over there. There's nothing fucking cool going on in Hollywood right now. Not a thing. Not a fucking cool project. Like, all the Marvel shit is just trash now. I guarantee you it's only a matter of, like, 3 more years before we have a fucking trans superhero or some horse shit.
I think we got one. It's The Flash.
And you know what? And on that, I don't even care if there is a trans super, but don't make the show about being. It's like, just be a person who happens to be blank. I fucking don't care.
Yeah.
You know, but just have the focus be on their humanity or their
story.
Power, the story. But that's what killed me about like Netflix and all these gatekeepers. They stopped caring about comedy and they started to care about like checking off boxes,
inclusivity and everything else.
And I don't care. It's like, check off the boxes, fine, but check them off with good fucking comics. And you clearly don't give a shit about that anymore.
Nobody realizes like Too Fast, Too Furious. Look at that cast. Who were the leads?
Too Fast, Too Furious.
Paul Walker.
And
R.I.P.
God, forget
Tyrese. And
Vin Diesel.
No.
And
Family. Michelle Rodriguez.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, I love Michelle Rodriguez. Yeah.
You go look at fucking Too Fast, Too Furious. It was made in like 2003. And it's like, where is this like thing that Hollywood's claiming that they've never included everybody?
Yeah, I mean, that's like, one of the biggest franchises of all time, and every single one of them is a different race. And then they go over to Tokyo.
A Cuban
Tokyo
woman.
Drift.
Cuban woman. Like they had everything.
Yeah, but in Tokyo Drift, we have the redneck guy beating all that Asians in street racing.
Yeah, but I mean, let's be real.
He
let's
probably
be real.
would in real life.
They're a lot smaller and a lot lighter.
You got to have some weight in that vehicle, Giorgio.
Traction is a key to good driving.
Sure is.
That's physics. It's
Mustang
physics.
At the end, so he can drift the Mustang.
Dude, today's an absolute blast. Every time you come in, it's amazing. I know you got live shows tonight here in Austin. Now's the point in the show we get to the Drinkin' Bro of the Week, which is someone who has inspired you or helps you become the person you are today. Who'd you like to give the Drinkin' Bro of the Week to?
You know what? I will give it. Okay. My Grandpa Ward. I'll give my Papa Ward, my grandpa. He passed away about a year and a half ago. Had he not been in my life, like no exaggeration, I'd probably be in prison. I was going down a very different path.
Really?
Just not having my dad around much, like growing up and different things, and like he was like the father figure, and just the best dude.
That's awesome.
Just like very honorable guy. He was a veteran, like
Never
that.
cried.
Never cried.
Never cried, dude. Can't cry.
Maybe should have got it showed a little. No, he was just such a great guy and came from nothing. Like just such a great story where it's like his dad, severe alcoholic, beat the shit out of him growing up constantly, stole his money when he was in fighting over in Korea. I'm sorry, he was deployed over there. He wasn't fighting, but part of the war effort. Sent money home to get a car to come back with. His dad just drank it all. Just came back home, nothing. And could have been a bitter dude, could have like repeated that and was like, nope, I don't want to be like that. And just like the most honorable family guy, hardworking dude, worked at the sawmill construction, didn't complain about shit. And if the world was full of Papa Wards, it'd be a fucking good world.
Was that the last generation of it? Because now that you bring that up, I remember my grandfather was in World War II, right?
Yeah.
Tough ass, hard as nails dude.
Yeah.
There was one time, where I thought it looked like he was about to cry. And it was at my grandmother's funeral. They were married for 50 plus years. And he goes, he excused himself from the room. I think he went and cried in the bathroom.
Yeah.
He died like a year after her. It was very close.
Right.
Which happens a lot, obviously.
Yeah.
And he was like, excuse me.
Yeah.
And then just walked out of the room. And I was like, I guarantee, like, I could see him welling up at the wake. And I was like, oh, shit, is this the time I'm going to see Grandpa cry? And he goes, no, fuck you. I'll do it in a separate room, dude. And I was like,
such a different generation. I had
see
to
him
like,
with a dustbuster. And like,
oh yeah, dude.
It doesn't even get out.
Yeah.
It goes
Not a
straight into the
prayer.
vacuum.
Yeah.
I had to like run. I don't know what you call it even like, but like, you know, kind of like MC, I guess, of my grandpa's funeral. Like just, you know, just make sure everything's moving along. Everything.
Sure.
My family just put me in charge, and I got choked up and I cried like, and I remember thinking as I was doing it, if my grandpa was here, I'd be so fucking disappointed.
The same thing happened to me.
And then his friends were there at the funeral, and they're just looking at me like, you fucking bitch. Like, yeah, he's dead, but come on, pull it together.
The same thing happened to me. So I got in charge to talk about my grandfather's funeral.
Yeah.
I started crying.
Yeah.
And I'm on mic, and it's loud, and I'm a gross crier where it's just like, holy shit. I don't cry that much.
Yeah.
But when I did, it was over my grandfather, and
Yeah.
it was the same thing. That thought went in my mind. I was like, son of a bitch. If he's looking down at me right now,
Come
he's
on,
like,
Ross.
yeah. He was the one who was like, take
Yeah.
off your shoes, walk on the hot asphalt on the way to the beach, dude.
Yeah.
You need to toughen up. And I was
Yeah.
like, all right, cool. And then I'm bawling at his own funeral, giving the goddamn speech.
Yeah.
God damn it. I actually put that in the first book, At Night She Cries While He Rides a Steed. There
Yeah.
was a scene in there called a PMT, and it was a powerful motherfucking tear. You can do it once in your life. And it's if your whole family dies in a house fire, including your children.
And
Yeah.
one
And
of
he
them
goes,
is encased in gold.
yes, and that's the only time you can cry in your life.
Yep,
And
yep.
that was based on my grandfather.
Yeah.
And nobody knows that story.
Man.
What the fuck,
What's
dude?
happened to us?
We're all pussies.
And I'm in this weird. You might be too. I'm in this weird space where I do believe in like therapy and value and like taking care of yourself, but asterisks.
Yeah.
But like not taking it so far that you just read sadness and everything. Like my grandma's motto. Also, I could nominate her by his wife. You can laugh or you can cry about things in life. And I've seen her go through like so many hard things. Like our sense of humor in the family is so great because of that, and that kind of tenacity and grit. It is just I don't know. I like both. It's like, yes, take care of yourself, but also be tough.
Yeah.
Don't let. When we thought my grandma might be dying, she had this crazy big tumor in her stomach. This is like my family sense of humor. She had it removed. It was like a volleyball size. So I brought her a volleyball for a gift and like talked about like, so congrats on your new baby, like cards and stuff. And like that's my family's humor. But like it's so great because no matter what like happens, they can just laugh.
Yeah.
Like, no matter what, you know, yes, there's some sad stuff, but like my grandma was cracking jokes the day after her husband's funeral of like, you know, 55 years.
Sure.
And she was like, yeah, she's fucking sad, but also like not wallowing in sorrow.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's a good generation.
It is. It
Yeah.
is. And now we're the next. We'll see what happens.
we're the-
here.
We'll see.
The new generation.
We'll see what happens.
Humanity had a good run.
Exactly.
Fun while it lasted.
Either way, look, check out Dan Cummins. Timesuck is one of the very best podcasts there is. He's one of the very best stand-up
thanks,
comedians
man.
we have in the United States. If you have not heard of him, maybe this is the first time, please go and check out everything he does. Follow him on Instagram, everything else. His wife is hilarious. Just a great all-around person. Thank you for being
thanks,
here.
Ross.
We greatly appreciate it, and,
appreciate being
and we'll
here.
see you soon.
And when I do Timesuck, you know, I get Black Rifle coffee to get fired up for it and drink hard as fuck seltzer to calm down.
Goddamn right. Goddamn right you do. For Dan Cummins, Jared Cat Puke Taylor, I'm Ross Patterson. This is the Drinkin' Bros Podcast. Good night, everyone.